Maybe because I grew up on a beef cattle farm in northeastern Ontario, and it's the most simple thing ever. Steak and taters, baby! Here we go. Y'all ready for this? Get into that steak and taters. Pick this up a little bit so that we can do this and I can talk to my people. All right. Okay. So first we preheat the oven to 350. Yes, 350. Did I stutter? um, well, I only have a few taters tonight. Jesus. I'm gonna need more taters for sure. Maybe we'll throw some carrots in there too tonight. Just because. Steak. What kind of steak you think I got? Hey, what kind of steak is it? Can you guess what kind of steak I got? Just by looking at the package, what kind of steak is this? I gotta pee. I'll be back. Can you hear me peeing? Can y'all hear me peeing over there? Can y'all hear me taking a piss over there? I guess I could wash my hands too. The ethical thing to do these days. Oh yeah. Okay, okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, it's a good thing I washed my hands. I had a bunch of grease on my fingers from my bike today. I went for a bike ride today. Give everything a good little scrub-a-roo. Little scrub-a-dub-a-roo. Oh man, I'm friggin' exhausted, man. Woke up this morning at like, I don't know, 5:30. Went down to the ocean to watch the sunrise, but it was overcast, so there was no sunrise. I came home and I realized that I had a bunch of time to play with, so I went for a bike ride. I went to Duncan and did 2 laps at Zuhalem up the road. And then I came down Double D and then veered off and did 2020. So that was fun. Oh yeah, I need my handy dandy baking pans. And dandy bakey pakey. Throw some organic coconut oil. Organic virgin coconut oil. Love that stuff. Put that shit on everything. I use it for everything. I use it for my skin. I use it to cook. I use it to bake. I use it for massage. When I have a special someone around. You guys use coconut oil? Oh, you guys use coconut oil for cooking? I don't know. It's better than the canola or seed oils, you know. It's all really good stuff. So healthy kind of fats. All right. Now we're ready to go. Chop up some carrots. How many people out there eat organic, fully organic? I'm telling you, It's the only way to go because otherwise you're gonna have a bunch of chemicals sprayed on your food, right? Pesticides, herbicides. That shit stays on your food. It doesn't just wash off in the water when you get it home. When you get home and scrub it down. So you might as well go organic. At least you stand a bit of a chance. Everybody wonders why their guts all messed up these days. They can't digest. They can't digest bread, and they can't digest um dairy, gluten intolerance, dairy intolerance, and bloating. Everybody's all bloated all the time. It's because your gut's all messed up because you've been eating food that's been sprayed with chemicals. So I eat pretty much fully organic. There's a couple ingredients that I use that aren't organic. Like I don't think my spices are organic, but as much as I possibly can, I try to eat as organic as possible because it's the only way that you can be sure that you're not poisoning yourself. I hate to say it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you could be eating all the fruit and vegetables and thinking you're all healthy, and then lo and behold, everything you're eating is sprayed with chemicals, and then you're eating that, and it's destroying your gut. Yep. Sorry to be the one to break it to you. Don't shoot the messenger. But I highly, highly recommend getting into eating as organic as possible. And honestly, like it's not that much more expensive, like a little bit, but really at the end of the day, your gut health is connected to your mental health. So crazy, crazy concept. Um, if you treat your gut right, then it's really good for your mental health. If your mental health is on point, then you're gonna have more mental clarity. If you have more mental clarity, then you're going to see the world in a more efficient perspective, right? So let's say you keep telling yourself that you don't have the money to eat organic. Well, maybe if you start eating organic, then your mind will open up to opportunities to help you make more money, which will in turn give you the funds so that you can eat more organic food. Right? And it's crazy. It might not happen overnight, but I really truly believe that if we're constantly poisoning ourselves, especially because they're linking our gut health to our brain, right? Our gut to our mental health, our anxiety and depression. And if we're eating garbage foods all the time and we're destroying our gut, then we're a lot more susceptible to mental health issues. So feed yourself good organic food, and then your body will function properly, your brain will function properly, and you'll find ways to live more efficiently, healthier, stronger, and just finding new different opportunities, right? So it's call me crazy, but I think eating organic goes a lot farther than just your physical health. You know, I think it really it has a huge impact on your mental health as well. So drop me a thumbs up if you agree with me. Drop me a thumbs down if you think that I'm just crazy talk. But anyways, what kind of steak is this? I got a few viewers here. I got few people. What kind of steak do you think this is? Drop your thoughts. First person to get it right gets high five. What is it? What is it? It's grass fed, I'll tell you that. Faux damn show. Grass fed. I think it comes from a local farm too. Who do we got on here right now? Hey, who's chatting? Who's chatting? We got TGAM. What's up, TGAM? Said hi. Hi, we'll subscribe to you. Thanks, TGAM 20 or Z7. I appreciate the subscribe. Only been here for 5 minutes, and listening to this made me understand a lot about why I feel how I feel. Yeah, I'm really glad to shed some light on that, Hamza Mohammed. Um, yeah, it's really important for us to eat healthy. Like the food system is not. I don't know. I'm in North America, right? I'm in Canada, and the food system here is wrecked, right? They're mass producing really bad quality food. Um, they're putting a lot of chemicals in our food. A lot of processed food is like really destroying our body and our mind, right? So it's really important that like we have to take that into our own. We have to take our health into our own hands, right? Like nobody's gonna do this for us. They're gonna feed us the lowest quality, lowest nutrient foods possible, the cheapest stuff to keep us weak, to keep us addicted, right? Lots of sugars, lots of carbs, lots of MSG. All these foods have addictive chemicals in them so that we keep buying them. It's like when you eat garbage food, when you eat lots of carbs and sugars, you want more carbs and sugars, right? Because your body wants nutrients. And if you don't give your body nutrients, it's just still craving nutrients. So you give it empty calories and it just wants more empty calories. That's why, in North America, anyways, 60 to 75% of North America is overweight or obese, right? Because they're stuck in this cycle of eating garbage and thinking it might be healthy, but it's not. And they're not getting the nutrients that their body wants, right? But once you start eating nutrient dense foods, high protein, low carbs, then your body isn't going to be as hungry because you're giving your body the nutrient that it needs, right? So give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, right? So you should always try to give your body the most nutrient dense foods possible, and then you won't be as hungry. You'll just eat enough to satiate your hunger, and then you'll grow big and strong. Check this out. Big and strong, right? Right? You don't just wake up with a six pack, right? You gotta really be conscious about it. You got most of the work is done in the kitchen. As they say, if you want muscles, go to the gym. If you want your muscles to be visible, do the work in the kitchen, right? So, anyways, so this is my steak. Anybody know what that is? What kind of steak is that? Anybody know? As for pork, Mohammed's talking about pork. I don't eat a lot of pork, to be honest. It's very fatty. The pigs are usually treated very inhumanely, very unethically. So I don't eat much pork at all. I go steak, salmon, tuna, shrimp's a good one. Try to eat like not farmed fish too. If you can eat wild caught fish, then you're always going to be better off. Um, Steak, grass-fed steak from local as possible. All your food should be coming from as local as possible because then it's not just pumped full of preservatives and shipped over here from who knows where, right? Pork's really fatty. Pork's really it's I don't know, it's greasy. I'll maybe once in a while treat myself to a bit of pork, like some sausage, but it's usually like really fatty and lots of like just scraps from the butcher, right? So what else do we eat? Lots of chicken. Lots of chicken breast is going to be the leanest cuts of meat, but get antibiotic free chickens, right? Happy chickens that aren't just stuffed in a cage and like stacked on top of each other so they're shitting on each other and like you want to know where your food comes from, right? Think about how the animal was raised. How was the animal brought up? Is it an ethical farm where the animals are treated ethically? and slaughtered ethically? Or are they in some kind of factory farming where they're all stuck in a pen, eating grain and just shitting all over each other and themselves? And then, they kill that animal and they feed it to you, right? So try to think about where the animal comes from. Try to think about where your food comes from. And, that's half the battle, right? Try to find ethical farming atmospheres, ethical farming situations, and you'll be way better off. So, and it's hard, it's a rabbit hole for sure. It takes a lot of time, but usually your local butcher, butchers have good clean meat. If you go to the grocery store or like department stores like Costco or Walmart, superstore, that's all going to be the garbage, the worst meat that you can possibly buy. It's coming from a factory somewhere, very unethically raised, very unethically slaughtered, probably finished off. They call it finished off. They pump it full of hormones and feed it a bunch of grain at the end of its life just to fatten it up. Like here in Canada, we have Alberta. They call it like AAA grade Alberta beef, and the only thing, the reason why they call it AAA is because it's got more marbling in it. So that just means it's got more fat in it, right? So really, at the end of the day, the AAA grade beef, which sounds really great from a marketing perspective, it's just it's fed a bunch of garbage foods to fatten it up before the end of its life. And it tastes good, don't get me wrong. Like a nice fatty steak, like there's not a lot of fat. There's a little bit of fat on the edge of the steak, but in the middle, it's not like it's there's not a lot of fat, right? Because it's grass fed. You'll notice that it's a lot darker meat too. Um, but yeah, so you want to try to find steak especially that's got not as much fat on it, because then you know that it was raised in a pasture, pasture raised, grass fed, right? It's a lot more ethical way of raising a beef, raising a cow, right? Chickens, you always want to look for antibiotic free, right? You don't want your chickens to be full of antibiotics, hormone free as well, right? Like my dad's a farmer. I grew up on a big beef cattle farm. They got three to 400 heads of cattle at different times of year. Obviously, calving season they have more and so on. But my dad's always had chickens too. And someone once he went and bought a bunch of chickens from someone. They were like, I think he bought like 10 chickens. It wasn't many, but there was about 10 chickens. And he's looking for laying hens. He's always got laying hens, like they lay eggs, right? Well, he gets these chickens home, and when they grew really fast. And all of a sudden, their body was too big and their legs weren't strong enough to hold them up, so they couldn't even stand up. Because what they did was they pumped them full of hormones before selling them to my dad, because they weren't supposed to be laying hens. They were slaughtering hens, right? So they were made for meat. They were raised for meat. But pumping an animal full of hormones is not ethical. It's not natural, right? So you should just let the chicken grow to be whatever size it needs to be, even if it doesn't give you as much meat at the end of the day. Then it should be that's natural, it's ethical, right? Rather than pumping it full of hormones so that you get bigger breasts, you get bigger meat, more meat, so that you can feed more people and make more money, right? So it comes down to greed, really, and trying to supply food for all the people on this earth. There's not enough organic farmers to do it right now, so they're doing the factory farming. But there's an argument about that as well, that the world throws away an obscene amount of food every day. And if we had a better distribution system to distribute this food, like healthy, good, organic, healthy food from farmers, then we could figure it out. But there's a distribution problem they can't get the food to the people fast enough, so they throw like it's ridiculous, millions and millions of pounds of food every week, all every year. There's a good page to follow or account to follow on Instagram. It's called Save the Food, I think it's called. I forget what it's called. It's checking them out on Instagram. They're finding all these farmers that have all this surplus of food, and they're shipping it off to like food banks and stuff in the States. I think it's Food for Life or Save the Food or Life for Food, something like that. They're trying to reduce the waste of food. It's unbelievable the amount of food that goes to waste, right? And yeah, I really think that we should all do our part to try and, one, not waste as much food, and two, support the people that are trying to distribute all this food that would go to waste, and send it to the people, because there's people starving all over the world, right? There's no shortage of food in the world. It's a distribution problem that we have, right? We just need to get the food that we have to the people that are starving, right? So go look on Instagram or whatever, even Google it. Try to find some pages that support the people that are, they take funding. They go on. They have like fundraisers to fund the trucking, to fund the transportation, to get this food to the people that will eat it, so that we can waste less, and the people that are starving can actually eat, right? So something to think about. But this is strip loin, by the way. I do usually get ribeyes. I do a lot of ribeye steaks, especially if they're on sale. I just like stock up on them. The other day I got there's a bunch that were 25% off. And they were still pretty cheap. They were like 15 bucks, but then 25% off of that. So I stocked right up. I took everything they had at the butcher. So a lot of times too, yeah, like go check out the organic section at your grocery store, and check out the can you pairing a yummy mal for me, please? Yeah, check out the butcher shops, and a lot of times they have discounted food, right? Are nutrients fine to make your hair grow back? No, actually, it's not working. I'm eating a lot of nutrient dense foods, and no, it's not making my hair grow back. What type of steak we working with? Well, if you would have stuck around, you would have found out. I don't think you're here anymore, but it's a strip loin, baby. Morning, my new friend, Ilana Kurtz, yummy mal for me, please. Can you preparing a yummy meal for me, please? Yeah, sure. Where are you, Ilana? Ilana Kurtz. Where you at? If you're close, you come on down. I'll cook you up a good meal. Absolutely. I love hosting. I love having people over. Many, many thanks. See you. So sure. Enjoy the day. Bye bye. Where are you, Ilana? Where's everybody in the world around here? Anyways, where's your location? I'm in Canada, so I don't know how close you're to that. But Ilana Kurt. I had a thing with an Ilana before. She was fun. Beautiful and very fun. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna let that sit for now. Everything's cooking. Give this 5 minutes on each side, and we're good to go. Wonder if I can. Mm, many, many thanks. Many, many thanks. Kurtz 946 7. fans. Oh wow, I got 5 people on here. Let me know where you're at. Where's everybody at in the world? I'm here in Canada, Vancouver Island, Canada, cooking up a nice steak. Anybody know what kind of steak that is? Have a look. What is it? Give me all your guesses. Tell me what you think. I got some taters and veg in the oven. Oh, turn some light on so you can see. That's what I like to do with my taters and veg. Chop them up in little squares, get them nice and crispy, and then smash them up and put lots of butter. Where's everybody at in the world? I see 6 people tuning in right now. I just gave a whole spiel on eating organic and grass-fed beef, non-antibiotic-free chicken. The only way to go, man. Eating clean, eating clean. I'm gonna turn this fan on. It's gonna get real loud. Get some air moving around in here. It's smoky. It's probably good. Oh yeah, look at that, baby. How you like that? Damn. All right, the grand reveal. Got the taters out of the oven. Look, I always chop them up in little squares, and I roast them. Look at that. You get them all crispy and golden. Oh man! And I smash that up, and I put butter on them. Oh yeah. Actually, I gotta take the butter out. The butter is going to be rock hard. Who's out there? Who's out there? Drop your name and where you're from. Check it out. Let's connect. People around the world. See where you're at. Maybe I'll be traveling in your area sometime. I'm quite often traveling. And I will be traveling a lot over the next few years. So, until I find some wonderful angel to settle down with and buy a piece of property, maybe build a house. But until then, there's a big world to see. All right, so that's that. Boom, boom. Get some butter on those taters. Toss that up on there. Even I like to grab the oil from the steak. Use that as as a nice I don't know what we'd call that, but sauce. I grab all these crispy little goodness, all these crispy little salty goodnesses. And then look, I smash my potatoes down like this. That's my favorite. And then you got crispy mashed potatoes. So good. So good. You can't beat that. So good. And I'll even mix the carrots in there too, smash them up a little bit. Call it a day. How do you like your steak? Whoever's out there right now. There you go. Mm, damn, that's good. Mm, give me. Okay. A little steak knife. I bet you like your steak cooked a lot less than I do. I like a medium, medium well. I don't like too much blood. I don't know. I feel like it's easier on your belly. It's easier to digest if it's got if it's cooked a little better. I don't know. Prove me wrong. I could be just tripping. Mm. Oh wow. That's perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Medium, medium well. Where it's at. Fall apart in my mouth. Nice and crispy on the outside. Anyway, that's that. Have a good night.